Yes, Massive and crew, we're back again with another video, and this time we're going to tour you through the arrangement part of RENOISE. Arranging in RENOISE is a pretty tricky thing to do. It took me quite a while to get used to the arranger. Arranging in tracker programs is not the same as sort of doing it on Cubase, but again, if you're learning any one DAW in particular, you know, you'd probably take the same amount of time to learn the arrangement side of it all the same. So, you know, every tool is kind of different depending on what software you're talking about. So to give you an idea where we're at, basically, so you've gone into RENOISE and you've laid down all your different tracks and you've got no space left. You mute the tracks that you don't want. You bring in other sounds, you bring in bass lines, you bring in effects, etc, etc, and it's pretty much the same principle when you're basically arranging. You're bringing stuff in, you're taking stuff out, you're making parts of the song that work with other bits and pieces, merging bass lines with breaks, different bass lines, switching. You're adding like a sound effect to have a transition from one part to the next. You're adding filters at the end of the drum. So for example, an example how the beats work. If I go down to the end of my block here, for example, you should see. Let me go to here. I want to show you something. So let's go to number 7, for example. Okay, so at the end of here, I've made a part where I've chopped the break and I've basically grabbed it, highlighted this and put it over here and stuck a bit of camel fat on it with some other effects and stuff to give you like an end fill effect. Right, so that's sort of like a transition part from one part to the next on the song. Now, basically, the idea is, say, for example, you've got this here now, right, and you wanted to do something with it. You could then literally select all and copy it like that. I'd select all, copy it, and then I could even duplicate that to, say, another track, like so. So duplicate it to another block, like so, yeah. And then when you go to here, you open this up, you'll see that all these tracks are represented by little blocks or I don't know what they're called, but they're tracks anyway. And you can literally click on them, hit return, and it mutes them. So it'll mute different parts in and out, and so on. And basically what I've done, this is what I've done, I've copied it. That's what I think this is called a matrix, that's it. So I've basically muted out what I don't want, as you can see here. When they're muted, they got that X on them, and it also comes up here, yeah. I've muted out what I don't want, and I have, it's pretty hard to say really, to talk you through this. And I've basically just brought stuff in, brought stuff out. There's the bit with the camel fat. On the side here, you've got block numbers. These are block numbers, so that's block number 8. It could be block number 1. If I change that to block number 1, you can see it's different. So you number these. These are numbered, right? So put that back to block number 8. That's number 8. What I've done here is I've literally, to make the intro, I've literally copied that. I've selected this. Actually, I want to show you one more thing before I do that. You can grab a batch of blocks, yeah, and then you can see where it says here, it says start a new section. You can click that and call it section, and call it intro or whatever you want, yeah, for example. But look, let's change that, go back, undo that, all right, and I'll show you what I've done. So I've basically played a string in at the start, and I put that here, right, and I've run that along there. And then I've basically literally made an intro with this, like so. Filter. drop. You know, this is basically the fundamentals of basically arranging your song. So I could have, say, that section there. I could go to here, go repeat, and then it would play. It would do the same here. So it makes a copy of that, and so on and so forth. And that's the basic fundamentals of editing. Now, sometimes when you edit, say if I change something here, let's say I was to go to here, I'll go to the bass, let's have a look, disto bass, and I was to put that in there, put that, say, here. Got a bit of lag on the computer, guys, really annoying. Let's have a look. Go to here, mute that off, and then mute this off here. And that's how you would make that section. Now, if you notice here, where I've put this in here, and I've put the bass in, and it's basically I've made that edit. If you look down here, it's done exactly the same thing. Now, the reason being is because this is a copy of this block here. So if you want to do any changes here that you don't want down here, what you've got to do is you've got to right click the block, and you've got to go to organize and then make it unique. Then that way it's no longer a copy of this, it's no longer a copy of this block. So whatever you do here will not affect the rest of the song. It's a pretty tricky way to arrange music, but you know, I do enjoy it. When I've had enough of the Matrix editor, what I would tend to do if I get too much lag, or the whole you know, arrangement thing gets a little bit tricky looking at the Matrix editor, what I would then do is I would go to render, right, and then I would go to use automatic file naming, where the track is named automatically, and I would make sure that all my tracks are named corresponding to what's on them, i.e. bass, or you know, vocal, effect, so on and so forth. You know what I mean, right? And then I would basically click on here, and I would set it to save each track into a separate file. Yeah, and then I would then hit the browse button, make a brand new folder, call it audio song mixdown, whatever the case may be, and then save into that folder. So click that, and what that will do, yeah, is that will render the whole entire song as stems, and then I can take those stems out into my favorite DAW, or whatever you want to call it, and like Cubase, whatever you want to use, Ableton, Pro Tools, whatever, and then you can then arrange it and mix it however you want it to, you know, be, how you're used to doing it. Is there anything else I can show you on this arrangement window apart from create section, repeat, duplicate? I can probably, I've not used it, but let's see. If I go to here and I go duplicate, what does that do? There you go. It makes exactly the same block. So basic editing stuff. You know, if I wanted to, let me give you a quick little mad idea on, you know, mad little idea of what do you call it, arranging. So if I was to go duplicate, right, oops, go to that block there, grab it, click on that, go duplicate, and duplicate it again. Right, let's say I did this, right, I had it so it was playing there, I didn't want the bass line there, just for argument's sake, I got rid of that, look, and then I wanted to get rid of the Amen and have the Amen and the bass coming in together after that filter, right. Let's have a look what I got. That's the fundamentals. I mean, I'm sorry I can't show you in detail, but this is just a quick video just to give you a heads up on the feel for arranging and the process of arranging in RENOISE. I hope you found it useful. Please comment down below if you have any questions, etc. Share this video with your friends who are trying to get into RENOISE. Take care. God bless. Peace.